Testing. Hello. I am so sorry that I haven't been uploading to this channel. I've been injured, actually, and I got married and all this stuff, so my life's been slightly hectic. But I am going to try and post very consistently because I've been having all these fun sessions, but I'm like really precious about whatever. I don't need to get into it. I'm just gonna say that the footage you're about to watch now actually was the other day of me trying to learn this really infamous trick that all these skaters talk about all the time, which is kind of silly. It's the switch backside 360 kickflip. It just sounds cool, and some people do it legit. I did not, but it's ironically a trick that I can do fairly easily. You'll see in the clip that I'm about to show you. I'll narrate it as we go along. But this video is also about kind of being bullied at skate parks and talk about bullying in general a little bit, because the whole topic of this video was going to be about my first time ever being bullied at a skate park ever, which was almost like one of the first times ever going to a skate park, ironically. And you might not even classify it as bullying, but we'll have to measure that. But let's go over this footage first because I think it's fun and stuff. So right when I pulled up to the spot, perfect flat ground, I was like, I kind of want to try a nollie late flip. And that was the first flick. Could have literally landed the first one. But then, like everything in the world, especially when it comes to late flips, I tried forever, didn't get anywhere close, suck balls, you know how I am. So then I switched to that, which I did first try, and I was freaking out. And then I tried to do it again, and wouldn't you have it, wouldn't you know it, I couldn't even get the flip again. So this is my brain on late flips. I just cannot figure them out because I grew up doing single flips and all this late technical stuff that all these young chaps are doing. My brain just can't comprehend. It's pretty unfortunate. So then I switched to doing double flips because in my mind I was like, oh wait, no, the whole story of today is about double flips. That's the trick that I got made fun of first. So then I was like, okay, dude, I'm an adult now. I'm freaking pro. I'm not insecure at all. So let me show him by still thinking about it 20 years later. Anyway, so this is me doing double flips. And then I started actually figuring out double heel flips, like genuinely feeling really good with it. I was feeling like I wasn't even having to try that hard and it was flicking. Kind of weird how much my front foot is actually hanging off the board. I was using so much heel. But if it works, it works. And even that one flipped slow and I still landed it. But the thing is, if I tried it off something, which, you know, I like skating stairs. I think it's fairly easy to jump off somewhat small stairs. I was like, dude, I can double flip off something way easier. And I was feeling good. Like I was literally smiling because I was just like, dude, these are flipping. These are feeling pretty sol. And then my brain was like, hey, maybe I can double backside heel because this trick has always seemed impossible to me. But I have a friend named Jamie Griffin. He actually won the Battle of the Barracks. He does these like it's like a kickflip. Like he can do these really casually. And I'm like, well, I gotta somewhat keep up to the flat ground god of Notre Dame. And, you know, eventually I'm probably gonna have to play Jamie a game of skate. And I was like, well, I don't wanna like literally get out skate to nothing first trick where he's just like double heel, double back heel, nollie double 900, nollie, blah, blah, blah. That's a trick. Yeah, I'll write it out in the description if you wanna see how it's spelled so you can research it. But yeah, double backside heel just wasn't working out. I tried so many of them, but the whole idea of a double backside heel, it's like, even a backside heel, I miss the flick sometimes, right? So you have to kick really hard down, and then just the way your back foot has to be, the way your body has to rotate, it's really hard to get that extra flicky, flicky, flick. But I think, you know, maybe one or two of these kind of counted. But then I was gonna film a reel, like a shorts, where I just did like impossibles and 360 shoves. I don't even know what the shorts was about, but this is kind of when I was like on my time period of being like, dude, I'm gonna make so many shorts. And then I realized that you don't really get paid for the shorts. And I was like, well, I'd rather just upload a YouTube video where you do actually get paid. But this is where my switch backside 360 kickflip adventure begins. Clear my throat because I'm talking too much. But yes, the switchback 360 kickflip. You can kind of tell right away that these would count like on defense. If I was playing a game of skate and someone did the trick, it would count. But of course, you know, I posted me doing this and people are like, you mean switch backside, flip, pivot, 180? And I'm like, well, yes, but in skateboarding, it totally counts if you continue the slide without any pause. So like that would count because my wheels kept riding on the friction. I'll show you one that wouldn't count. Like that wouldn't count because I actually fully stopped on the switch backside flip. But this one, totally, actually that was kind of good. But the hard part is you have to rotate it a bit more than the 180. So it's kind of hard because you're doing a switch backside 180 kickflip, which is already a hard trick, and you gotta extra rotate that creature, and then you fill it up. But as you can see, I did a bunch of them, and this is like one of those weird tricks where I've seen even other YouTubers. My friend Zach Doling, who's an amazing skateboarder, who I'm actually better friends with than people know. So I think when I go back to California, we're gonna do a bunch of videos together, and it'll be cool and awesome and sexual. And yeah, that one doesn't count, but yeah, I've been able to do this trick for like 10 years, and I've just done them a bunch. But now that there's like a rise in it, I want to do it again. But these aren't like as legit as you may have seen someone like Chris Chan do them, where he literally does the whole rotation in the air. And that's like a completely different trick. That's like damn near impossible in my opinion. So impressive. But yeah, that's the Switchback side 360 kickflip, and this is the best one I did. So of course, my first time being bullied at the skate park, some people might not qualify this as bullying, but I do, because I feel like anytime someone goes to a skate park, you gotta be really tender of their feelings. It's a new, scary experience. So if you're talking to a kid or even an adult, you just gotta be careful with what you say to them and how you're gonna influence them, I guess. So when I showed up to the park, I was trying double flips. I'd been practicing this at home, and I'd always been scared to go into the skate park, and I'm finally going in there, and I'm trying them, and this kid was like, dude, just do a single flip. And I know what you're thinking. That's not bullying, but dude, it crushed me. And trust me, I've been legitimately bullied a lot at the skate park. We literally almost had this big brawl at the skate park because the dudes were making fun of us. My brother kicked this kid and became this huge thing. They locked the gate, but luckily nothing happened. Anyways, those are other times where it's like legit as it gets, but it still crushed me all the same. Internally, I was like, dude, the double flip is a harder trick. And in his head, he was like, nah, bro, just a single kickflip looks way better. And of course, I know a lot of people out there will probably agree with that, and a lot of skateboarders would, but you kind of got to let people figure that out for their own. But also with skateboarding, there's just like the things that are cool and the things that aren't cool, and then a cool person does the things that aren't cool, and then it becomes cool. So we're very hive-minded, just like every other human on the planet. We're not unique at all, and in skateboarding that exists. But in that moment, I was thinking, okay, maybe he's right. So I stopped dealing with double flips, and later on in life, they became kind of cool, and I was kind of trying them, and I had friends doing them, and I realized, oh my God, these are actually really fun. Like a double heel flip feels really satisfying when I land it. So I started doing them again, and people were stoked. They were like, dude, that's a sick trick, bro. And I'm like, I should have just stuck with this from the beginning, because then I would have this artillery shell of tricks to do. But this is what a lot of skateboarders have to deal with, and some people get to live outside of the realm. Even Johnny Geiger was telling me that he lived in his own little bubble, so that's why he does all these weird circus tricks, and then he got a lot of hate on the tricks initially, but now luckily a lot of people are coming around. But at first it was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing these tricks? And I'm like, that's so stupid and silly. And it's funny because like even nowadays, it's not a big deal, obviously, right? Double flip. It's skateboarding. It's so niche. Like if you talk to a regular person and said double flip, they'd be like, I don't know what that is. But skateboarding has this way of really building like a strong adversity to certain people for doing certain tricks. So like, you know, the right person can make a YouTube video being like, this dude did a double flip. I can't believe it. What is he doing? And then his audience will be like, yeah, this is what we need. We needed someone to stand up for our rights against double flips. Like that's literally how like skate commentary works a lot of times, where it's like, if you think about the subject, probably not that big of a deal, right, in the grand scheme of things. But I also admire the fact that skaters can get so intense and like it can be their everything, right? Because this exists in every world. You know, I watch a lot of anime and stuff too. That world's the same way, right? Like people are getting worked up, they're threatening to kill each other. And then when you think about it, you're like, you guys are threatening to kill each other about like some fan fiction about a show, talking about this character that might be able to do this, but you don't actually know, only the author knows, but you're like willing to like die for this cause. That just, in my brain, that kind of just correlated with a lot of how humanity works in general, and it just became really sad to me. But that's the weird thing. You know, you can take it becomes really intense, and I think, you know, skateboarding has a big audience of people who are willing to kind of fight for these very, very subjective opinions. But at the end of the day, I don't think the kid should have come up to me and said that. I think he should have been nice and just been like, you know, in his head been like, maybe it's on me to think that I don't like this trick, but maybe he likes this trick. But instead he was like, double flips, just stick with kick flips, bro. And to this day, I killed him. Just kidding. He's actually a friend of mine now. He's really cool. Nice dude. But anyways, that's the video. I know this is super random and this is very talky and whatever, but I've been having such trouble putting out videos that I'm just like, dude, let's just buckle down, put out content. And especially since I'm injured, I'm like, extra sad that I can't do like productive things like skateboarding, which is very productive. So I'm gonna make videos, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time in a world far, far away called YouTube. I'll see you here. You can subscribe to the channel, and I love you so much, dude. I literally, will you marry me? Progress daily. and keep killing it.